Hello everyone and welcome back to another reaction video. Thank you all to the new subscribers. Thank you all for supporting the channel by liking the videos, commenting, and sharing the videos. So in this reaction video, we're going to be covering a couple of things that my Jazzy Life shared on her channel. And we're going to basically get into a few things. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right in.
So everybody knew Aiden was planning his game, and people was trying to do the most to prevent my son from playing today. Y'all know, as a content creator, we do not upload our content the same day as we film. I uploaded a video about Aiden having scarlet fever and pneumonia, right? You have to be on the antibiotics for 10 days. He's already been off of them. Also, I wanted to note that he did not attend childcare at all when he was sick. Heck, when he was diagnosed, he actually wasn't with me. He was with his dad. And also, as a content creator, we pick and choose if we want to upload a whole bunch of clips and make it to one video. Like, it might not be the same day. I say this to say people go out their way. So they took it upon themselves to email the Y and make it seem like, oh my God, you got a child playing right now. And it's just sick because all my son did was hoop in his little basketball game. Like, he hasn't been sick for a minute, people. And I know what some people are going to say. They was just concerned. They did this out of concern. No, they didn't. Baby, they didn't want him to play. This is what they do. Every time my kids get into any kind of activities, they take it upon themselves to email any location that I'm currently at and try to take it away from them. Baby, let them kids play and have fun. Like, it don't get that serious, like, at all. Every email that's sent, I get them, but I just wanted to show, like, the level that people will go to try to prevent my son from playing in his game. He did a damn good job. And if you paid attention, he doesn't even have a rash on him no more. Scarlet fever is a rash all over your body. Pneumonia is treated by antibiotics from the doctor. All this been treated, y'all. I say all this to say, y'all don't gotta like me, okay? But why can't my kids be like other kids and play in their games? That's what I'm trying to figure out. All they want to do is play and have fun.
So as you just heard, there was someone who took it upon themselves to contact the Y where Jasmine's son attends and her other children. And they wanted to make it known that Aiden was dealing with some health issues and felt the need to not only let the people from, at the Y know this, but also to direct them to Jasmine's video. So, yeah, this was definitely doing a lot. And my question is, what is the end goal here? Because initially, there was a whole campaign going against Jasmine in the sense of, she's neglecting her children. Then there was, Jasmine doesn't love her children. Jasmine does not spend time with her children. Jasmine doesn't want her children. There's so many different conversations that's being had on this platform. And, it's just weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it does not matter what Jasmine shows. Y'all still seem to go hard with your personal reasons as to why you feel the way you feel. Um, there was a point of time where people was saying that Jasmine starved her children. Jasmine didn't feed her children. And it's like, again, I don't understand what the end goal is. Is the end goal to just completely remove Jasmine from YouTube? Because then I have to ask the question, why are y'all pressing so hard on that goal? Because from the time that I've been watching, and I've been watching for a very long time, I don't understand why y'all target Jasmine so heavy when there are other content creators on here that, from my perception, has distributed very much neglect and poor mothering. I have not seen Jasmine starving her children. I have not seen Jasmine neglecting her children. I feel a lot of times people just pick this woman apart because they personally do not like her. And so at one point, it was also, we say the things we say because we want Jasmine to do better when it comes to her children. We want, to, look after her children. We want her children to be okay. But again, how is going the extra mile, the way that some of y'all are doing, showing that you truly do care about Jasmine's children? When I look at Aiden and how proud he was of himself playing ball, the way he has been really taken to basketball, it shows that he really does have an interest in it. When you see the videos of Jasmine teaching them how to dribble and how to control the ball as they run up and down the court, it looks like he really does have an interest in it. So again, I feel like when you have an issue towards a person, your viewpoint becomes distorted because it's hard for you to see anything positive because you have such a dislike and a hatred towards that individual, even if it has to do with her children. So a lot of y'all have disguised your criticism towards Jasmine as solely being, well, you just care about her kids. But no, it's not giving that anymore. It's really giving, you just don't like anything that has to do with Jasmine, even when it comes to her own children. At some point, there has to be a clear defining understanding as to what is considered too far. Because this cannot keep continuing and everybody is just on board with it because it happens to be pertaining to someone that a lot of you don't like. Because when you look at someone like Olivia, who was comfortable enough to come on this platform and do the things that she did, not caring about the repercussions, not caring about the long-term effects that her false allegations and lies can potentially cause upon Jasmine's children, she was comfortable in doing that because this is what's been going on for years in this sector. There's a difference between giving constructive criticism versus perpetuating hate, bullying, and just downright just being despicable towards another human being and their children because you have a personal dislike and hatred towards them. Like, I'm really sitting here trying to figure out what is the end goal here, because if you're really trying to get this woman off YouTube and that's why you're going to the depths of hell to cause this woman and her children harm and disrupting their peace, that this is a huge issue. Like, this is a huge issue. This is not representing humanity. This is representing evil and demonic behavior. And I don't care how much you dislike this woman, it should not translate into you trying to come after her children for no reason. But anyway, we're going to get into the next video that Jasmine uploaded on her channel, and it was speaking about Kailyn and just some of the issues that she's been dealing with her. So let's get into it.
Okay, y'all, so I'm back at home. Kailyn kind of just upset me, like, today. She wants to be better. She wants to be good, right? Hold on, let me put y'all down. So she wants to be good. She wants to be the best version of herself. But she thinks that in order to be the best version, it's just gonna come naturally. In reality, you have to put forth the effort. So she decided she wanted to put this long jacket on this morning, this winter coat, to prove a point. Like, I'm not working out. She had a whole attitude this morning. And I'm like, Kailyn, like, this is the summer. If you're not gonna play a sport, you're gonna train. Like, especially when you play in middle school. She threw this whole fit, and there's fat people, there's big people that play sports. And she said, her quote, I don't wanna be like you. I said, baby girl, I'm not trying to make you be like me. I don't want you to be like me either. I want you to be better. I want you to keep going. I want you to be so good. There's no looking back.
I'm not sure how old Kailyn is. I want to say she's 11 or 12. If y'all know how old Kailyn is, let me know in the comments. But I think she's 11, maybe 12 right now. But my thing with this is, I think this is very common, especially when you have children. I dealt with this with mine. They want to, you know, do certain things, but yet they don't show that they have the drive to do it. And I think when you look at this generation, because everything is so technology based, I feel that the kids today, they don't really have a lot of imagination. They don't really know how to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about technology, whether it's, gaming devices, tablets, computers, laptops, like everything is so surrounded by technology. And us as parents, we have to be very careful in making sure that we are heavily monitoring the times that our children are on these devices. And even when you look at cell phones, like everything is so easily accessible just from a cell phone. And so I think just with that alone and social media, it has really did a number on a lot of children today. So I am definitely for limiting, access to, technology, when it comes to our children. But, what Jasmine said, I completely agree. I think as mothers, we usually have that aspiration towards our children. We want them to be better than us. We want them to, make better decisions. Because sometimes, depending on how you grew up, you may have had parents that wasn't really, the best parent, or you may not have had your parents growing up, or you may not have had a mother or a father growing up. So you always tend to, usually strive to, make sure that your children have the best life that you possibly can provide for them, because what you lacked, when you were a child. So I definitely agree with, wanting to make sure that your children become better than you.
And honestly, I feel like if she's the way she is, I'm gonna have to force her. I didn't force her today. I just said, you know what, whatever, go to shop here. I don't care. Maya came, worked out, but I feel like I'm gonna have to force her. And she's like, what, you want me to cry? You want me to throw up and stuff? That's fine. There's a lot of kids that throw up and get back up. And I feel like the parents that push their kids just a tad bit to that limit, I feel like those are the kids that are going to succeed. They're going to actually be something. They're going to look back on that time whenever they didn't want to do it, when they didn't want to do it, and they're going to say, I'm glad my mama pushed me. And I told her, tomorrow you put that jacket on, you're going to work out in that jacket. Baby girl had on a whole snow coat. It's gonna be your sauna suit. You're gonna work out. I ain't gonna push you too hard, no jacket like that, but you're gonna work out. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I feel like I don't wanna give up on her. And I feel like if I give up, she will be done. Like, she won't do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to give up on her, but I completely understand what you're saying. Um, just from what I have observed, from watching, the videos that Jasmine uploads, it seems like Kailyn is very much into like technology. Like, she likes to be on her cell phone, she likes to be on her laptop. And there's a very fine line with that, because, yeah, with her being so young, you definitely want to be mindful of the fact that, of how much time she is spending on those devices, because with her being the age that she's very impressionable to, um, kind of pick up certain behaviors that can actually end up working against you, Jasmine, as far as, what you're trying to do with your children and what you're specifically trying to do with her. It can definitely work against you. So, number one, I would definitely say, if she's on that phone or any type of technology device for a long period of time, you definitely may want to, consider cutting her back on that. And also, what I will say to that is, I mean, she could very well just be lazy. Like, she doesn't really want to do anything. Like, I've had that same situation as well. And, I feel like it's a fine line too, because you don't want to push your child in a certain direction if that's not really what they're passionate about, because every child is different. Like when I see Amaya seems to really gravitate to wanting to do a lot of the, sport activities. And Kailyn, even though she did tell you that she wants to be the best in whatever it is that she's interested in doing right now, because I know she at one point was playing volleyball. I think y'all had her in track, and now she's doing the basketball. So, I get that you want to keep her active. That's extremely important, especially with them being young. You want to keep their bodies moving. But you also just want to make sure that you're not pushing too hard, because it may not just be something that she's just passionate in. So yeah, it's definitely a fine line. I definitely understand what you're saying, Jasmine, but I really feel it's a possibility that Kaylin is spending too much time on her devices, and that could be working against, the end result that you're looking for and what you're trying to accomplish with her.
Like, she thinks that she's gonna go into middle school. So, let me turn it out. They are tilted. So, I'm just gonna have to push her even when she don't want me to, because in reality, that's whenever the kids are gonna be their best. Y'all, I don't know. I feel like, and I'm just gonna be real. It was times that as an athlete, that I cried. Hey, shh. That I cried, whether it was with her dad or my coaches. Like, I've cried, she kept saying, you're gonna let me throw up. If I throw up, I will let you throw up and I'll let you come back. Get yourself together and then come back. Yes, I feel like I need to be hard on her, because I've cried, I've thrown up, I've wanted to give up, and I never did. And I feel like if I push her and I don't, I don't fall back, she won't give up. And so I know people are gonna probably have contradicting feelings about this, but she wants to play sports, right? But she feels like it's just gonna come natural. It doesn't come natural. I was not good once upon a time. It's gonna, I'm like I said, Kailyn, Maya's over here pushing 2 to 3 miles. You can do it. What, I can't do that? Yes, you can. You just keep saying you can't do it, but you really can do it.
Yeah, it just really sounds like Kaylin just, she struggles in motivation. Um, it's more so like, because I've said this when it comes to my child as well. I see that they have, the desire to do certain things, but the willpower is lacking. And so a lot of times, they can envision themselves doing things, and they can actually want to be really great at whatever it is they are aspiring to. But when it comes to that willpower, when it comes to conjuring up that motivation to actually have them moving in that direction of what they are aspiring to, that's what's lacking. And it sounds like that's kind of what you're dealing with Kaylin. And so it's great that she has the aspirations to want to do good. But like you said, she's not really being realistic, because just because you want to be great in something, that doesn't mean it's going to naturally happen. Like, you have to work hard at whatever it is that you are aspiring to be or to become. And so, again, I completely understand where you are, but it definitely sounds that's what you're kind of dealing with Kaylin. Like, she lacks the motivation and the self will to, do the work and actually become what it is she wants to become.
Like I said, I feel like this is a learning experience for her, and as she get older, she's gonna say, I'm glad that my mama pushed me. And she's gonna look back on these videos. That's why I'm glad that we have YouTube. She can look back and be like, and just be, I gave up on myself. My mama didn't give up on me. That's what I want her to look back and see. I didn't give up.
I mean, what you're doing, Jasmine, is correct parenting. Again, you know your child better than anybody, and you know what your child needs better than anybody. And sometimes we do have to push our children, because if we don't, they will be stuck and they will end up regretting a lot of the choices that they made because they did not move when they should have. And that's something that I have experienced myself. When it comes to my child, and looking back, they come to me and say, in different situations over the years, they will come to me and say, you know what, I'm so glad you had me do this. I'm so glad you pushed me in this direction. I'm so glad you made me do this instead of allowing me not to. Because at the end of the day, you are the parent. They're still, very much immature in their thinking. They don't understand a lot of the things that they're doing, and they don't understand the importance of a lot of things. So that's where we step in as parents. We have to properly guide our children correctly because they're not at the age, nor do they have the mental capacity to know how to guide themselves. So I commend you, Jasmine, for understanding the importance of, making sure that you step in where it's needed and making sure that your children are not suffering as a result of you not stepping in.
So even though she made me mad, y'all, she was over there talking all kind of hot stuff this morning. And I was like, oh, child. Mommy? Talking hot stuff to me. Okay, go take it in there. Open the door so you can go in there. But, y'all, it's 2:21. I'm about to make them some corn. Hey, can y'all stop playing on that door? We're back at the house. I told her, I was like, you working out tomorrow. Point blank. Period. Okay, period. Like I said, I know this topic is gonna get a lot of either backlash. It's gonna get a lot of attention because there's some people that are like, don't push your kids. You push them too much, they might quit. You push them too little, they won't try. It's gonna be back and forth. Everybody has their opinion.
I mean, that's why I said earlier, it's definitely a fine line when it comes to this topic because, again, you know your child, you know what your child needs. But of course, when you're looking at this specific situation, like you said, Jasmine, if you push too hard, it can definitely backfire and she can end up resenting you for it. But if you don't push enough, you could actually cause her to, remain stagnant and not really progress into whatever it is that she actually could have become great in. So it's definitely a fine line. But when you said, Jasmine, that, she was talking mad stuff, I don't know what all Kailyn was saying to you, but yeah, you definitely want to make sure you're setting some boundaries there because I know when it came to my children, they knew that there were certain things that they could do with me. Like, don't even act like you're trying to get slick with me. Like, I just didn't play those games. All it took was a look, and they already know. Don't go any further. Don't say not one more word. So I feel it's important to establish those boundaries because your children have to always know that there is a line that you do not cross with me. And I hope you are establishing that with Kailyn because, again, with her being a girl and she is entering into those teenage years, you definitely want to make sure you're setting that boundary with her. But I do believe in allowing your children to come to you and express themselves. But there's a time and a place for that because it definitely doesn't need to be a conversation when it's right in the heat of the moment. But I do believe in having sit-down conversations with your children and let them know that regardless of how they may feel, you want to make sure that you're always remaining open so that they can come to you for whatever it is that they're dealing with because you don't want your children to end up going elsewhere because they feel as if they can't really be honest with you. So again, that just comes with you setting those boundaries and making sure that your child or your children know what is appropriate and what's not appropriate. But at the end of the day, your children, I promise you, will respect you so much more.
At the moment, like I said, y'all, I want to do things with my kids. I just got to get my stuff together to where I'm financially stable, to where I can do more things. Right now, I'm doing what a person that's trying to get by every day is doing, okay? Regular, smegular, everyday stuff, which is working working out and taking care of my kids. This is just a part of my life. Taking care of my kids is a big point of my life. A lot of people say they're tired of seeing Legend. I wish Legend would go to school too. But at the end of the day, he's my child. You're going to see him if you come to my page. If you don't want to see my son, that's fine too. That's fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, he's my son and he's 2. You're gonna see him more than you see the other kids 9 times out of 10. Because right now they're gone during the week and they're here on the weekend. But
I'm actually glad that Jasmine addressed this because it's so weird to see people trying to spin this narrative that Jasmine cares more about Legend than she does her other 4 children. Or Jasmine is spending all this time with Legend, but she never spends the same amount of time with her other 4 children. Or Jasmine doesn't want her other 4 children on the camera with her. That's why she's always filming with Legend. Like, it's the narratives for me. Like, I really just be scratching my head at a lot of y'all, like, what is going on with y'all mental state? I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of common sense to be able to understand that Jasmine's 4 children actually have a father that gets them on a regular. They actually spend time over their father's house, whereas Legend doesn't have those same opportunities. Jasmine's 4 children are in school. Legend is not in school. Like Jasmine said, he's only 2. So I don't understand why it's hard for a lot of people to understand that the reason why Jasmine is with Legend all of the time is because he's not in school and he doesn't have a father that is actively present in his life to where he is taking Legend on a regular basis. So it's just so weird that Jasmine even had to explain this, but I'm glad she did because the narratives just really need to stop. It's really getting old and it's not making any sense.
last night I posted on my post, hey, take that bucket back in the room. Go back in the room with that bucket. I posted on my post that on Facebook that, you know, some days I just want to give up. Some days I just want to give up. And that's the truth. And some days are hard. Like, I get overwhelmed, and then I know a lot of people think like, oh my God, everybody else go through this, like, you know, different. In reality, y'all, the difference between me and a lot of people that actually go through what I go through, God, it stays in the room. The difference is, there is a difference. I'm a content creator. I'm able to voice what I go through publicly, what I deal with on a regular publicly, my emotions, everything, my co-parenting, my lifestyle, I'm able to do it publicly. The difference is that I'm a public figure, and in reality, the people that go through it, they're not a public figure. So instead of them being like them venting to a family member, a friend, or crying in the bathroom, I come on here and vent. I tell y'all, or my platforms. Sorry, y'all, my kids is just, hey, I just want to give up sometimes. Y'all, it's a lot. I don't care what anybody says. This rent is renting. It's a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? And some days it's hard. Some days I can do it. Mentally, I can get it done. But at the same time, like, I be having to take a step back because I'm like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. Someone also stated on my Facebook, oh, you just want sympathy. I don't want sympathy. I feel like I posted it because it just felt good to say it. You know, it's like it's my diary. My platforms are my diary. It felt good to get it out and let it be known, like, oh, this stuff is hard. And I promise you that there's somebody else that watches me that's probably like, damn, I'm not alone. You know, they're glad that I'm actually the content creator that be real, and I post the reality of life of a mom, a single mom.
Being a mom is definitely very hard because it comes with such great responsibility. I can't begin to imagine, you know, what it's like to have 5 children, but I'm very sure that the level of overwhelmness is pretty real. But I feel that, you know, we should definitely normalize the reality that being a mother is hard. And I don't think people should be made fun of because they come on here and they express their real truths and how they feel. There's a difference between a person saying they want to give up and they actually just neglect their children and they abandon their children versus someone who's just coming on here showing and expressing real emotion by saying, you know what, sometimes I do feel like giving up because it's so overwhelming, but no way would I ever give up on my children. No way would I ever, step in that direction and just literally like give my children away. People may have a problem with hearing Jasmine say that she's feeling overwhelmed, but the reality is Jasmine is a content creator and she made the choice to put her life on social media. And as a result, she has a lot of followers who appreciate the fact that she's willing to be transparent with her life and with her being a single mother. Because whether people like Jasmine or not, Jasmine is very relatable to a lot of young women. Because we live in a world where everything is fully edited and we have the ability to copy and paste bits and pieces of our lives and form a picture to present to the world that we are perfect and our lives are perfect. Um, I believe a lot of people appreciate the content that Jasmine provides because it shows an element of realness. It shows an element that this is a real person who experiences ups and downs, who experiences good and bad, makes mistakes, takes accountability for their mistakes, showing different parts of their life where it may have showed struggle, it may have showed hardship, but there are instances too where you see growth, you see elevation, you see progress. So this is what it really looks like, to really look into a real person's life because nobody's life is perfect. Nobody's life is free from trials and hardships and situations that can potentially happen that can be bad or can be hurtful.
Everything is complicated. Everything, y'all. Like my kids, my household. Hey, move. Dating, because I feel like I want to date, but at the same time, I don't know if I can. Like, I feel like I'm afraid to. I'm afraid. And that's the truth, y'all. My head itching. I'm afraid. I don't know. I don't want to hurt nobody because I'm afraid.
This is what I would like to say to that. Jasmine, the fact that you are torn with the whole notion of whether or not you should date is a clear indication that you're not ready. And honestly, I don't feel you should be trying to make that something you should be focusing on right now because you really are still fresh, from coming out of a breakup, you know, and you have expressed, on here that, you still deal with the breakup, which is fine. It definitely takes time. It's a process for you to, fully heal from a relationship. And because you are still healing from that, you definitely should allow yourself that time to make sure you are thoroughly healed before you entertain another relationship. Another thing I want to say is when you said that a part of you is afraid to date because you don't want to hurt anyone, that within itself shows emotional maturity because a lot of people don't think that way. A lot of people don't have the understanding that they're still carrying and harboring unreserved feelings that may have affected them to some degree from, a previous relationship. And that's where a lot of women go wrong, even men. But I'm speaking to the women right now. That's where a lot of women go wrong because they move on too quickly and they, in turn, have baggage that they bring into, their other relationships. A lot of times they don't see the patterns that they create. And so a lot of times when women are moving from relationship to relationship, they have these unrealistic expectations that are unfair to place on a man. because when you enter into any relationship, you should come being whole. You should come already being secure within yourself. You should come already being healed. And you should never seek for another man to bring any type of validation to you or to bring any type of fulfillment to you, because you should already possess those things to begin with. So honestly, Jasmine, I really feel that you should really give yourself more time to really heal and make sure you're healed so that you won't ever have to question, whether or not if you are capable of being in a relationship, and not feel as if it's possible that you could potentially hurt someone else because you haven't healed.
All I'm saying with that being said is I'm human. I have emotions. The only difference between me and other people with emotions is that I have a platform and I vent about my emotions, my feelings, my everything on my platform. And it's like, if you're not here for it, you don't want to hear that, I don't mind you keeping it pushing and not watching this video and going to the next. It's not going to hurt my feelings if you do that. You're very much able to have your own opinion about my lifestyle. Jasmine, you cry too much, you're a baby, you get on my, have your opinion, but at the end of the day, that's not going to change how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I can't change if I'm sad, if I'm frustrated, or overwhelmed. I can't change that. So just know that this is my lifestyle. This is what you're going to see. Good, bad, whatever it is.
So there you have it, you guys. My last final words would be simply, there has to be grace that is given to people, because the reality is we are giving grace every single day. When you look at the mistakes you've made, the choices you've made, the ways in which you have been willing to try to ruin another person's life and even try to, disrupt the lives of innocent children, understand that every day you wake up, it is not because you are waking your own self up. There is someone allowing you to still have breath in your body to see another day. And it would be very unfortunate for anyone to take advantage of the grace that is given. And so if you know that grace is being given to you for all of the mistakes that you have made, you should also be able to extend that same grace to others. So that wraps it up for this reaction video. It's OneLove, and I'm out.